Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Newsbrowse News broadcast. According to Al Jazeera, secretive meetings are underway in Cyprus to map out a post-war administration for Gaza, spearheaded by a U.S.-led Board of Peace that includes former British Prime Minister Tony Blair. The initiative centers on Donald Trump's peace plan, specifically Article 17, which aims to isolate Hamas by directing reconstruction and aid solely to designated Hamas-free zones, such as Tal as-Sultan near Rafah. Under the plan, unarmed civilians would relocate to temporary humanitarian shelters overseen by a multinational stabilization force. However, the plan is encountering fierce resistance and practical hurdles. Inside Israel, border communities oppose any premature reconstruction, arguing it gives Hamas a strategic opportunity to rebuild. Furthermore, a leaked document revealed the board is seeking legal immunity and the right to seize public facilities in Gaza without compensation, sparking accusations of acting as a colonial occupation authority. The plan is also crippled by a severe funding crisis, as donors have reneged on $17 billion decided Ageyev to dollars mange, too. The plan is also crippled by a severe funding crisis, as donors have reneged on $17 billion in pledges. Meanwhile, Israel refuses to allow a Palestinian technocratic committee into Gaza or lift border restrictions, while Hamas views the entire project with deep suspicion. According to a report by the Liberty Times, U.S. President Donald Trump stated that Taiwan is doubling the scale of its under-construction wafer fab in Arizona. Speaking before his departure to Joint Base Andrews, Trump highlighted that Taiwanese chipmakers, such as industry leader TSMC, are significantly boosting their investments in the United States. Trump expressed high optimism for the future of the U.S. semiconductor industry, asserting that this expansion would help increase the U.S. share of the global chip market to 50% by the end of his presidential term. He pointed out that these new fabs are scheduled to go online within the next year, which will create more domestic job opportunities, contrasting this with the current situation where the U.S. holds virtually no market share in advanced manufacturing. TSMC has declined to comment on Trump's remarks regarding the doubling of the Arizona plant's scale. The statement has nevertheless renewed international attention on the collaboration between the U.S. and Taiwan in the semiconductor sector and the ongoing restructuring of the global supply chain. Japanese Foreign Minister Motegi Toshimitsu held talks with his visiting Ukrainian counterpart Andriy Sybiha in Tokyo on Wednesday. During the two-hour meeting, Minister Motegi emphasized that Japan remains steadfast in its support for Ukraine and will continue to impose sanctions on Russia to help achieve a just and lasting peace. Motegi reiterated Japan's rejection of any unilateral attempts to change the status quo by force. The ministers discussed plans for ongoing assistance, including support for Ukraine's recovery and reconstruction through public-private partnerships. Japan also committed to helping restore the Kiev Pacers Lavra Monastery, a UNESCO World Heritage Site damaged by Russian attacks. Additionally, the two countries signed an agreement on a grant aid project to assist in the training of young Ukrainian civil servants. According to NHK, Minister Sybiha expressed his deep gratitude for Japan's ongoing support, stating his confidence that Japan will stand by Ukraine throughout its recovery process. According to a report by the Liberty Times, scientists have achieved a major milestone in synthetic biology by building a synthetic cell from scratch that is capable of feeding, growing, and reproducing. Led by synthetic biologist Kate Adamala at the University of Minnesota, the team used non-living chemical components to assemble the artificial cell, which they named Spud Cell, in honor of the Sputnik satellite. Spud Cell consists of 150 to 200 molecules and possesses a minimal genome of only 90,000 base pairs. Although it can reproduce for about 5 generations at 30 degrees Celsius, Spud Cell is highly fragile and depends on external resources. Lacking a natural cytoskeleton, it reproduces by producing proteins that physically pinch the cell membrane. Furthermore, it cannot synthesize its own ribosomes and relies on external E. coli ribosomes to function. While independent experts agree that this is not yet the creation of artificial life, they hail it as one of the most significant recent breakthroughs in the field of synthetic genomics. According to NBC News, the Society of St. Pius X, an ultra-traditionalist Catholic breakaway group, has defied Pope Leo XIV by consecrating 4 new bishops at its seminary in Econ, Switzerland. The Vatican had explicitly warned the group that proceeding with these ordinations without a papal mandate would result in automatic excommunication and represent a schismatic act or a formal rupture of church unity. Despite the stern warning and the threat of severe canonical penalties, the SSPX moved forward with the highly organized service on Wednesday, which was attended by thousands of followers. The society, founded in opposition to the modernizing reforms of the Second Vatican Council, asserts that its actions constitute a sacred duty to preserve traditional Catholic faith and liturgy. Media manager Marc-André Mabillard stated that the group does not fear the consequences, prioritizing its mission over potential censure. This event marks a significant escalation in the ongoing tension between the Traditionalist Society and the Vatican under Pope Leo XIV. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.